morning. I'm so happy to be here and have the chance to share my vision for a more abundant, more compassionate Rhode Island. I'd like to introduce myself because I don't know how many of you know very much about me other than the fake news you've seen in the paper. I've lived in Rhode Island my whole life, and I've birthed and raised 7 wonderful children here. I have 15 grandchildren, and I used to work as a non-union and then union roofer, and then I went to URI and I got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and I worked at GTech, and I taught at CCRI. I went back to school, got my master's degree in electrical engineering, and worked for several years at Raytheon, where they trained me in something called Six Sigma expert. Now, a Six Sigma expert is, first of all, a change agent, and second of all, it's someone who's trained to identify fraud, waste, mismanagement, and drill down to the root causes using the tools that we learned in the program, and suggest ways to fix things once and for all. So, I noticed in all the debates about how we're going to allocate scarce resources, the real problem isn't whether we want to spend money on X or Y. The real problem is artificial scarcity in resources, because there really is enough for everybody. And so the method that I'm proposing of funding all the good works that everyone here in this room is blessed to be able to participate in is called regenerative funding. And the way it works is I applied 6 Sigma principles to lean down the process of charitable giving, so that instead of donating money at the end to a charity, we can help a charity such as United Way restructure and end up with more money to fund your enterprises by, instead of having donors, have investors put the money in the front end in a partnership where that money goes directly to the workers, the people who are forming now small enterprises, micro businesses that are directly providing the goods and services to the recipients. That way, instead of taking $1 at the end to the charity, that dollar from the enterprise produces on average about a $10 in-kind donation through a charity. And that receipt, even after the IRS uses their, cutting things in half for in-kind donations and so on and so forth, instead of giving a donor a 37% tax saving, we see people getting in between 150 to 180% return on investment when they're funding the enterprise front end. So we can eliminate this scarcity, and we can also give people the choice, because these associations are completely voluntary, and it motivates people to produce the very best goods and services for those who are needing a hand up, because they'll be able to elect which ones they want to receive. So it basically helps everyone to do better and ends this endless debate about what to do with the money. Now, once we've used that method I'm going to address housing separately, for education, for food, for medical care, and then in the way I'm going to describe for housing, then we'll have plenty of sales tax revenue, because all these people now, everyone will have money in their pocket for discretionary spending on goods and services that generate sales tax revenue. And so people will be buying good things like books for their kids, like an evening out to dinner, and paying tax revenue, and we can use that money to fix the roads and fix our infrastructure. Now housing, I want to address separately. That's one of the things that I was asked to address here. I'm a very firm believer in assisted sweat equity like Habitat for Humanity. I think that it's very good for people to have a stake in their housing. And so encouraging those sorts of private charitable associations with the tax incentives that we can provide with regenerative funding should at the very least restore all the abandoned and the underutilized housing right now. And we can, I don't think the homeless are going to be served by luxury apartments down by 195. They're going to be served by single-family homes where they can raise their kids and have a yard and be in a safe neighborhood and go to a good school. And so partnering together these sorts of charities with people who have the skills to share and want to be compensated for it, because it doesn't have to be voluntary labor anymore. People working in Habitat for Humanity will get paid in regenerative funding, and the value of the housing then gets donated. As far as early childhood education, that's something about which I have a great deal of knowledge and personal experience, because I've raised 7 kids and I have 15 grandkids, and our experience with the educational system is varied from mine. I was adopted as an infant into a family that was able to send me to a very good school. I went to Lincoln School for high school, all-girl education. And I actually think that's one of the things that empowered me to be a roofer, be an engineer, do these traditionally non-female jobs. Because I never was in high school or junior high where the boys kind of did. I've seen with my kids though, because we've run gamut of public school, Catholic school, homeschool, and my youngest went to an independent school called Penfield, that we can do much better than in a model where the kids are kind of a captive audience and the parents don't have choice. I'm a firm believer in strengthening families and strengthening parents' ability to be their child's first and best teacher. Some of I think that is going to require assistance for families so that one of the parents can stay home with the kids longer than 6 weeks. I think it's a shame when somebody has a baby and loves that child, and the mother and father both have to go to work and leave the child with strangers at 6 weeks old, and that's dangerous. It's dangerous for the children. No matter how many safeguards you have in place, we see that some institutions aren't taking good care of our children. And so funds to parents to help them stay home and teach, with assistance that's paid for by my regenerative funding, will help every child start school ready to learn. Our family always took it as a matter of fact that we were going to teach our kids to read before they started school. So all the kids started kindergarten already able to read simple chapter books. Sending home teachers in to work with the parents and teach them how to teach their kids will not only provide a better, more wholesome environment for parents, but it strengthens that bond. And then I believe in expanding the charter school / I believe in school vouchers, so that every child can go to a school as good as the school that my youngest child went to. We spend $17,000 a year on every child in Rhode Island's education. That's the average spending taken in tax dollars. The school my youngest son went to cost $15,000 a year, and they had huge playing fields, and everyone was literate, and everyone did these wonderful projects and wonderful field trips. The monopoly of the public school, where the kids, the parents actually, unless they're wealthy, have no choice but to send their kids there, I think harms our kids. Because the parents don't have any say in what's being taught. And it's been moved from the local level to the national level, where there's these national curriculum initiatives that all parents, all the parents we've talked to are saying are dumbing down our kids and making it harder for them to learn basic things like math, like reading skills. And so if we start with the parents at birth, and we make sure that parents have all the materials and all the knowledge and all the help available to them, to have someone come to the house once a week and have measurable, demonstrable goals, we can do wonderful, miraculous things with our kids. My youngest child, I learned something called the Suzuki method when I had it when I was 43, and I told myself to play the violin because I guess after having raised 6 in a bunch, I had this one all over. And the Suzuki method teaches little kids, starting at 2 and 3 years old, to play musical instruments. By the time my son's Suzuki group was 6 years old, this whole group of kids was playing Vivaldi concerti in groups. They were playing in orchestras. I have videos, you can go look on my YouTube channel. And that's because they educate the parents that you are this child's first teacher, a home teacher, and then they have a consultant teacher, like a subject matter expert, who meets with them once a week. If we empower parents to teach their kids like that, I remember reading something about President Obama. He said his mother used to wake him up at 4 o'clock in the morning and make him do math. Because she said, you're not going to get everything you need in that school. You have to take responsibility for your education. And I think that's the method, that message that we have to present to people, is that as governor, I hope to work myself out of a job, just like I did as a mother. I didn't want my kids coming home for me to do their laundry at 30 years old, and I don't want people at 18 years old not able to read, because by the time they started school at 6 or 7 years old, no one had, we've got generations now that just, some parents watch TV all day long with their kids. How do we stop that? Send somebody there, demonstrable, measurable goals, and an incentive and a reward when you and the kids meet them. We can turn this around without burdening people with higher taxes. We can turn this around with actually lower taxes by getting everybody to work together in these win-win arrangements that I'm describing. As far as adult education, I think we can cover adult education in that same scenario, educating families, but also I feel very strongly that we should have 3 vocational centers where kids are learning in high school plumbing, carpentry, the building trades, auto repair, the things that you do with your hands that actually make money. Going through school, kids should learn how to sweat a joint, put shingles on a roof. These are essential life skills, how to change a tire. And so everyone should get a chance to sample that, and then those who aren't as academically inclined and don't want to spend their time sitting at a desk can choose in high school to do vocational training. We've been expanding it. There's a wonderful program in there against it. I would expand that statewide so that every child in every school has that chance.